Start standing. As always, some music on is good, I find. Okay, so we're going to start on the mat or near the mat, and we're going to warm up with a little flow. Let me move my chair a hair. So find your feet, roll those shoulders back and down, create some space around your heart. Little scan of the body as you breathe. As you inhale, sort of let the breath waterfall down to the feet, checking in with every part along the spine. And as you exhale, send the breath back and out. One more breath. I'll turn here. And then on the next inhale, let's round forward, sweeping up, big sweep, gaze up. Exhale, pull your elbows wide and lift your heart. Release. Two more times. Big sweep up. Inhale. Exhale, pull wide. Lift your heart, but keep your tail long. One more time. Big inhale. Exhale. Lift your heart. Gorgeous. On the next one, we'll inhale, sweep up. Exhale, we'll pull wide, soften the knees, and come to a flat back. So here you are. Make sure your sitting bones draw together so your tail is nice and long. Lift that belly away from your thighs. Good, now press your hands back behind you. Reach through those fingertips. Shoulders glide to spine, collarbone opens up. Gorgeous, one last breath in here. And then on your exhale, fold over those legs. Let the head go. Lift your tail, maybe bend and stretch and see how you feel in the backs of the legs. Gorgeous. Now on your next exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to high plank. We're not going to stay here, but we just want to feel our way into the shape. And then we'll drop the knees, soften the toes. Exhale, tail comes back. Press the palms into the mat and spread them apart a little bit. You want to keep waking up the shoulder line. Inhale, unravel that spine to knee down plank, so nice and straight. And then bend the elbows and lower the heart to the mat. Inhale, stretch your heart forward, come up to a little lift, a little extension. Exhale, down. Now bring the arms further out. Inhale, lift up, maybe a little higher. Exhale, down. Now this time, drop the elbows wide. Inhale, up, making the back happy. Exhale, down. Hands under your chin. Bend your knees, little windshield wipers here, side to side. Release the tail, the sacrum. One more breath here. And then extend the legs, hands under the shoulders. Lift up and back, sweep up onto your knees. Bring your right foot forward, come into a little lunge. Go ahead, bring your right hand to your right thigh and side bend. You can even put your forearm here. Keep your tail long, keep opening your shoulder to the ceiling. Try not to back out of that lunge. And lift up, switching sides ever so gracefully. Come into a lunge on the other side, forearm hooks. Big side bend out of the waist. Stretch those fingertips. One more breath and release. Gorgeous. So have a block at the ready. We're going to get right into the abs, so we're really not wasting any time today, but I want to fire you up from sort of the center out. So just hang in there with me. All right. So let's start with block just nearby. We don't need anything else yet. We're going to take the hands behind the head, find our way into a neutral spine. And then on the exhale, we're going to pull the belly in like a gentle hug, reaching that low back gently to the mat, legs into tabletop. Gorgeous. So on the inhale, we're going to reach the right leg away from us. On the exhale, we're going to curl up toward it. Inhale, lower everything down. Exhale, curl up. Now, one of the challenges of this, as we continue to move, is to keep that left knee right above the left hip. So exhale in, inhale long. Exhale in, inhale long. For 4, and 3. Last 2, last 1. Land that knee right above the other. Now we're going to take the left leg out on a little diagonal, right leg to the ceiling. And we're going to lower and lift on the right. Lower and lift. If this is too much for you, put that left leg down as you lower and lift. But here you're challenging yourself for 3, for 2. Last one. Bend those knees, give yourself a hug, maybe a little rock side to side in the pose. Feet come down. Gorgeous. Stretch your arms up for the ceiling. Roll your ribs toward your hips and pulse. Little pulses. Yep, keep going. I'm just going to make sure this isn't Lynn. Nope. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to stay in neutral. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down, hands come back under your head. Tuck that tail, find your strong imprint. There it is. Bring the legs up to tabletop. Inhale, stretch your left leg away from you. Exhale, curl up toward it. Inhale, stretch down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come in. Again, try not to move that right knee at all. It's hard, but you can do it. Last 4. And 3. 2. This is a real wake up for the center. Last one. Gorgeous. Now stretch the right leg away from you. Left leg to ceiling. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. For 4. Again, you can put that right leg down if you want. Last 2. Last one. Give your knees a hug, nice and wide. Wowzer. Well, that was nice. Now we're going to take block in hand, lift the hips, and place the block under the sacrum. Tuck that tail again and bring your legs up in the air. Turn, open up the femurs at the hip sockets and cross your ankles. And then try to lift away from that block and lower back down. So you're curling the tail under you so much that maybe the hips lift a little. Inhale, lower. We want to feel this sort of in the deepest fibers of the belly. And if you notice, I'm not lowering so much that my back arches, right? I'm just coming back to that neutral. Uncross and recross, and we'll go through a few more. For 5, for 4, you've got this. Work deeply for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Gorgeous. Stretch your legs out on a little diagonal. Get a nice little stretch for those inner thighs. For 3, for 2, and 1. Now bend the knees, hug your backs of your thighs, maybe even come into full happy baby. Just to stretch out the hips a little before we get going. We can get sort of caught up in the hips when the abs get tired, or when the glutes don't know how to fire. We can come around to the hips. We want to stretch that out a little. Gorgeous. Feet come down, block aside. Stretch your arms out like a T. Take your knees to the left, gaze to the right, little spinal rotation. And then come back through center and switch it. Knees right, gaze left. And back through center. Roll yourself up to your seat. And we'll progress to standing. We'll be next to the chair. You don't need the chair tremendously, but you just want a little bit of a balance point. And then you may want a yoga block nearby. Something to squeeze. All right, so I'll bring my chair next to my right hip. I'm going to give myself a little space so I can move here. My heels are together, my toes apart and first, and I'm using that rotation to fire up my whole back side. All right, I'll take that left hand out, and I'm going to draw 3 circles over my head. 1, 2, really stretch. Here's 3. And now I'll take it the other way. So out and around, stretch. Out and around, stretch. Out and around, stretch. Now, as I come back to that first side, I'm going to make it a little bigger. So my torso is going to get involved. This is why we're away from the chair so you don't slap yourself. And if you want it to be really big, you can dive over the legs, squeeze the inner thighs as you lift. Gorgeous. Last one. Keep that arm up in the socket. Now you may want to come a little closer. Gorgeous. We're going to lift those heels, squeeze them together, bend the knees and slide down that imaginary wall. Then we'll drop the heels. Oh, my ankles are tight today, and squeeze to lift up. I know this isn't really hard or fast. We want to move through mobility. So we'll lift, we'll bend, we'll roll through the ankles, we'll stand. 2 more times, lift, slide that tail straight down as you bend, roll through the ankles, squeeze inner thighs to stand. Your arm might even be getting tired. 1 more time, slide down, roll, and stand. Beautiful job. Now this time we lift and we pulse at the end range. So we're sort of staying away from the floor. Little pulses here. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little side bends over that chair. Inhale, stretch those ribs. But the heels are staying lifted if you can. So there's a lot of energy in the legs. Last 3, 2, move from your ribs, not your shoulder. Last 1. Or just take your outside leg, sweep forward once, twice, keeping the inner heel lifted. 3 times. Sweep to the side once, twice. Pull in with control 3 times. Bend the knees slightly, sweep behind you once, twice, 3 times. Gorgeous. Twist over that chair. Stretch, twist, stretch. Last time, twist, stretch, other side. Beautiful job. Okay, so here we go. A little bit away from that bar. 3 circles, 2, 3. Take it the other way. 1, 2, 3. Now maybe make it a bit bigger. So maybe your shoulders and torso go. Maybe you come all the way over those legs. 1, 2. Squeeze inner thighs to lift. 3. Stretch the backs of your legs. 4. 1 more time. 5. Hold it here. So we're going to lift. We're going to bend. We're going to roll through the heels and stand. You got this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Roll through your heels and stand. Inhale, lift. Bend. Roll and stand. Last time. Don't let that arm creep up. Gorgeous. Now we lift. We pulse at the top. Think of your calves getting longer. Think of your kneecaps stretching up and your quadriceps getting longer. Think of your glutes squeezing together for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Side bend, lift. You got this. Side bend, lift. For 4, very lateral. 3, really stretch your ribs. 2, last 1. Good, take that outside leg, sweep it forward, pull it in. For 2, for 3, take it out, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Bend the knee a little, take it behind you, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Finally land those heels, stretch across the chair and open. For 3, and 2, last one. Gorgeous. Come behind your chair and stretch out those heels to the mat. Reach the calves into long, relaxed C. Gorgeous job. Okay, let's grab our slider. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? So just like we got the belly really warm at the beginning of class, now we're going to try to get the glutes really warm. Because if we can get the core and the glutes firing, it'll carry us through the rest of class. Okay, so chair on my left, slider on my right. Nice and parallel, not too wide. I'm going to sit back onto a little chair, small, hand on hip, and I'm going to take that slider and reach it out and in, out and in. Now, as I do this, my goal is really to focus on my standing leg. Like, yes, you're right, like so pretty, so cute, scooting out and in, look at it go, so nice. But what I want to watch for is that on my inside leg, my left leg, my knee is shooting straight to my at least middle toe, maybe pinky toe at most. And I'm squeezing the glutes in here because it's that standing leg doing the work. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out, sweep forward and back in a little semicircle. Keep squeezing the glutes of that standing leg, and then also power from the back of the hip that's moving. For 4, for 3, for 2. Hold it back, turn the leg out a little bit. Pull and push. This time, try to tuck your tail under. So I'm drawing the knee in toward my other knee, pushing and pulling. Yes, my standing leg is like, hey, I'm here, I feel you. For 3, or 2, or 1. Now we're going to stand fully, come a little wider. We're going to bend into that second position. Pull in, come back. So you want to be really careful with this. Pull in to stand, come back, because you don't want that slider to get way ahead of you. It's about the standing leg for 3. You got this for 2. Warming up those quads for 1. Let's switch it around. You got it, girls. All right, here we go. Slider under the outside foot. I'm going to sit back into my little chair. I'm going to think so much about gluteal encouragement here. I'm going to push out and in. Yeah, so remember the first time we did this for like a million rounds while I talked to you? I don't have as much to say this time. But stay light on that slider. Stay locked in on this other side. Keep squeezing your glutes. Almost there. Little pushes. Pelvic floor lift helps too, right? Like you're drawing the belly away from the thighs for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Gorgeous job. Now we're going to take it in that little semicircle. Try not to turn. No turning. It's a little opening. So even from side to side, you might not have as much range of motion. It's fine. Keep thinking about that knee. Tracking in those glutes in the back. For 3, for 2, for 1. Now I'm going to turn a little bit. Pull the knee in, push it out. Still watching that standing leg knee. Just lightly touching that bar or that chair. Oh, the standing leg should be like, what? Are you done yet? For 4, or 3, or 2. Last thing, little more space. We'll bend, we'll pull to stand. Bend. Now, you should feel like you're in a real plie here. Balanced, not too wide. So you're not sliding out this way. You're coming to that true plie. For 3, for 2. Last one. Release. Okay. We could probably call it quits for the day. We've done so much already. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Wow. Okay, so let's grab the weights. Let's get out of the legs a little while, huh? I'm trying to say. Okay. Block is here. Block is nice between the knees for the first few moves, especially if you're someone who's got wobbly knees like this. So I just got my block between my knees. I'm going to come back to that position we started class with, where I'm sitting almost to flat back. So bending the knees a bunch, reaching my tail behind me, my crown ahead of me, lifting the belly off the thighs. Gorgeous. We're going to start with rows. So we're going to reach the weights straight down below the shoulders. We're going to pull up and back toward the ribs. Inhale down, exhale up. Now, make sure, at least for the first few, that you pause at the top and retract your shoulders into your spine. Good. Keep going. Inhale down, exhale up and back. So if you have to pause every time for that mid-back activation, do it. It's worth it. Good. A few more times. Everything else is sort of locked in place. Make sure your low back isn't arching, right? A tired back will start to arch. Pull straight. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Now straight to the sides. Keep that retraction. Keep drawing the shoulders into the spine. Please don't lift ahead of yourself. So don't lift forward at all. Straight out. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Now here we're going to bend a little, squeeze, little pulses into the spine. If your neck's taking the brunt of this, stand up. We're almost done. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands at hips. Come on up. Press back. So now it's the same concept here. Shoulders retracting to spine, but should give you a nice chest stretch and help your neck return to long and happy. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can choose to use weights in one hand only or not. So we're going to hug the elbow in like a little letter L. We're going to turn open, stretch, pull back, turn back to the front of the shoulder. So we rotate, we push, we pull, we turn back. Rotate, push, pull, back. If you're only using the one weight, just hold the other weight at your hip. So I also want your opposite side body, those obliques, to kick in as you reach away. Last two on this side. Last one, really take your time with the opening and switch. For some of you, that rotation might be really hard. Okay, elbow into ribs. Open, stretch, pull, front. Turn, push, pull, front, open, push, pull. So yes, shoulder and bicep working here. 4 more. Use that breath. You're at home. Breathe freely and often. Last two. Last one. Release. You can release that block as well. I hope that block sort of kept you pulled right in. All right, so we're going to get into the back of the arm a little, but we're also going to invite the leg to play along. So I'm going to come on this sort of diagonal so you can see me. You just want your chair on one side. All right, so we're going to come into a small hinge. We'll take the inside leg and step it back to a little lunge, but we're still going to keep most of the weight in that front leg. I have 2 weights in my hand. It's up to you. We're going to start with those rows again. So we're going to pull up, stretch down. And this is only to set our position correctly. This is what I look like from the side. This is to set our position correctly for triceps. Last one. Now you're going to hold it up. You're going to push back and pull in. Push back, pull in. And if you want, you can add a back leg lift. Just getting a little extra work into the glutes. If you don't want, you stay right here and you'll be happy, right? But if you're lifting, keep the weight in the front leg. So you're barely floating that back leg up and down. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, step to a little chair. Take weights in both arms behind you, lift up and back, straight arm pulses. Squeeze those shoulders into the spine. Keep your ears right above your shoulders. Tail nice and long. So we're going straight back. Couple more. For 4, 3, 2, hold. You got this. Lift from the backs of the upper arms. 3, 2, 1. Release. Only one more side, thank goodness. 2 weights or 1. Bend the knees a little bit. Step your inside leg back to lunge. Here we go. Dangle those weights. Pull up to the ribs and down. Pull up and back and down. Hug shoulder to spine. Release. For 3. For 2. Last one. Now we lift up and hold. Maybe you lift that back leg as you pulse out and in for tricep kickbacks. Once you see what I'm doing, try to keep your neck in alignment. So don't keep looking at the screen if you can avoid it. I know I'm adorable. It's hard not to look. For 3, for 2, last one. Little chair. Weights in both hands. Lift up, up, up. For 4, for 3, for 2. This isn't super fast. For 1. Keep holding behind you. Stretch, stretch, reach, hold, breathe. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release over those legs. Roll up through that spine. Beautiful job. All right, guys. We don't need anything now. Let's put those weights aside. Quick sip of water. One more chance for fun in the glutes. So I'm going to come to the back of my chair. It's up against something sturdy. I'm going to lean my forearms on it, and I'm going to reach my head. Actually, you know what? You can be here, but you can be here as well. If you're here, just make sure you're pressing down into the top of that chair. Okay. Left leg's going to come behind us. I'm going to scoot a little closer so you can see. Here we go. This will be better. All right. Bend your right leg. Nice long back. Little lifts. Up, up. Stay square. I'm going to join you here. Now, make sure you're lifting from those glutes. It's quick and small. And if this seems too fast, then you're probably moving too bigly. I know it's a really great word grammatically. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let's pull the toes down. Keep lifting. Lift. Keep that right knee bent. Left leg long. Push, 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 push. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Now bend like you're kicking yourself. Push out. Bend. Push out. Bend. Push out. Bend. Push out. Hold it in. Push up. Little presses up to the ceiling. Nothing in that low back is working. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the foot, turn the hip out and lift again. Last set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release. Wow. All right, other side. Reorganize. Long spine, left leg right under the left hip with the knee bent so the back stays long and out of the equation. Right leg lift, small and quick. 1, 2. Now we've fired up these glutes several times already. Push, push. 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Toes down, keep pressing up. And really reach through the heel. You got it. 8, 6, 4, 2. Hold it up. Go in, push out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Hold. Push, 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 push. Yes, you got this. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Point that toe, turn it out, keep lifting. Last set. Yes, you got it. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up and release. Let's take a nice figure 4 stretch. Stretch that out. Stay for a few breaths. All right, other side if you haven't switched. And gently release. All right, let's grab those weights one more time. All right, so at this point in class, it's a great time to sort of assess yourself. So here, we have an option to involve the legs more later on in the song or not. So just remember that. It's part of the workout is what I'm presenting and part is what you need to take today. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. This is not a position we work in often. We're going to turn out and we're going to bend the knees and then we're going to pitch forward to a flat back and dangle those weights. If at any point during this work your low back starts to yell at you, then you're going to stand up straight to finish. Okay, but we're here. Good. Let's roll those palms to face each other. We're going to curl, curl. So we're sort of working against gravity here because we're leaning over. Pull, pull. Set your shoulders. Let them be balanced with the collarbones. Roll those femur bones open. Lift your arches. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now turn your palms forward even lower. Pull. We're not going to stay here long. Keep your weight back in your sitting bones, not forward in your knees. Could you turn your legs forward, your toes forward? Yeah. If you don't like turning out. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands to thighs, roll up through that spine. Yes. All right, we're going to add the legs now if you want. Turn out here, bend down, plie, and curl. Pull and push. You got this. Shoulders glide down the back. Pubic bone sort of lifts up. Can you actually lift your pubic bone up? No. But I want you to feel the abs drawing up from the pubic bone to your diaphragm. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide the legs together, turn them forward. Shoulders back and down. Press your weight into your left leg. Bring your right leg up in the air like you're standing on it. Arms out wide. Push and pull. You don't have to tap overhead. In fact, you could reach straight up. Yes. And if that doesn't work for you, punch forward and back. You might enjoy this better. See where your shoulders are. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Give the arms a break while you switch. So send the weight into that right leg. Pull the left leg up like you're standing on something from your back. Here we go. You can be here or here, punching and pulling. Yeah, everybody's got different needs. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you are done. Oh yeah, you did it. Okay. Weights aside, guys. Killing it. Can you believe this is your last standing song? Woo! Cue confetti. So we're gonna have chair near us. Start in parallel. Okay. Little space away from that chair. So fight for this parallel. If you wanted a block between your knees, it'll work for a little while. So we're gonna sit back, we're gonna sweep sort of under the legs or maybe even just to the knees. Stand up and side bend. Sit, inhale, exhale. Now, you wanna see this from the side. I'm making sure that I don't go so low that I collapse over the legs. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Now I'm gonna stay here with the arms wide. Turn the pinkies forward. Run the heels. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we sit, we kick out. We sit, we kick out. I'm gonna use the arm too. Kick, sit, kick. Don't sit forward. Sit back for that imaginary chair. Last 2. Last one. Now we're gonna sit and kick front. Kick front. Sit. Kick front. Doesn't have to be big. Your chest leans back away from the kick a little bit. Yes, the standing leg is working. And it's not wobbling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Face that chair, runs. Little quick run. Get that heart rate up one more time. Last set. And then we're gonna switch around. Here we go. Other side. Parallel legs. We're gonna start with the squat under to side bend. Sit it back, here we go. Squat, side bend, squat. So what we're doing is as we drive away from the floor, finding all this length on the outside body. Sit back. Yes. Tall spine. Keep your gaze up. 3, 2, 1. Sit it back. Reach those arms overhead. Pinkies in. Little runs. Try to keep your hips level. Your knees reaching forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come up. Squat, side kick. Squat, kick out. Sit back. Kick out. Imagine you have 2 little footprints on your floor that you're hitting. And the knees keep reaching. They keep tracking toward the toes. 4. You got it. 3, 2. Now we're going to kick front. Sit back, kick front. Sit back, kick front. Sit back, kick front. 4 more times. You have it. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Little runs. Yes. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Release. All right. So when we head down to the mat now, we're staying down. So I'm going to set myself up. I'm going to get my chair at the front of my mat facing me. I'm going to have my blocks accessible, my slider accessible, my weights accessible, because who knows what I want to do. Okay. So right now, we're going to work with the slider for planks. So you really only need, well, I only need my mat under my hands. All right. So I'm going to inhale, breathe up like we started class. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, I'm going to lift halfway, find that halfway lift. And I'm going to fold, plant my hands, and I'm going to wiggle my feet back until I find table hover. I might even need to adjust because my shoulders are behind my arms. Good, now in table hover, I'm going to see if I can grab that slider under the right foot. I'm going to push out and drag in. Push out and drag in. Back flat enough for someone to sit on. Yeah, pull it in from your belly. For 3, 2, 1. Now push it out to the right, like I'm going to kick you. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Now reach it out, sweep it back and side. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Step to full plank. Drop your knees. Knee down plank. Prep. Elbows down. Give those wrists a break. Now from here, reach your right leg off the mat. Well, no. Your right knee. Keep your toes tucked. Hold, square your hips and pull your belly to your spine. For 4, 3, 2, release to your knees. Move the slider to the other side. Sweep up, step up. Other side. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, find that flat back. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Walk slowly back till you're in that bear crawl position. Slider under the left foot, push and pull. You got this. 5, 4, 3, don't change your right side, keep it low. 2, 1, kick it out left, pull it in. Kick it out, pull it in. 4, oh, this is hard. 3, 2, keep it out, sweep it back and out. 4, 3, don't change your table shape. 2, release that slider, step back to full plank, knees down. Left toes under. Stay in plank for 4. Square those hips. 3. Oh, it's supposed to be on your elbows. Come down. For 4, 3, 2. Knees down. Sit back. Wow. Amazing job, ladies. I don't know about you. I thought that was challenging. All right. Where are we? We're doing well. Okay. So let's face away from your chair. So chair's behind me. Blocks ready. Okay. We're gonna do some integration. So some of this is gonna feel really nice. Some of it will be a little challenging. So make sure you have space enough to roll down without hitting your head, okay? But you don't want to be super far away. So we're gonna start with some rolls down, up, and some spine twists. So let's extend those legs. Breathe the arms up, and then reach toward the toes. Biceps near ears. Stretch through your heels, roll down to the mat. Bring your arms back only as far as your chair. Inhale, start rolling back up over those legs. Reach up, arms to letter T. Twist left, 2, 3. You can bring your knees up if you need to sit tall. And right, 2, 3, center. One more time to each side. Bring out that waist, center. Other way. Center. Arms up, belly back. Inhale, start rolling down. Tap the chair, exhale. Roll back up. Now, sit up tall, dig in those heels, and you want your blocks behind you on a little diagonal like you slid back. Yeah, bring the feet in closer, slide back quite a bit without falling. That's the challenge. Good, and then from here, we're gonna bicycle. If it's too much for you, try sweeps instead, one leg at a time. Like that, okay? Yeah, almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. One block in hand, roll to the mat. Lift your hips, block under the hips. Make sure you're not too close to that chair. Tuck your toes, hug your knees. Tuck your tail, I meant to say. Hug your knees, make sure block is under that flat part of the spine. Reach the legs to the ceiling. Lower. Don't go any further than, you don't want to arch. Lift. Lower. Lift. One more time, lower. This time, if you wish, roll to your chair. Tuck your toes. Might even be able to balance and grab those chair legs. Lift your belly. Lift your tail. Move that block. And roll back down to the mat with complete control. And the control center is the abdominals. Hug those knees. Roll side to side. And then right up. Okay, guys, this is it. The final song. Tiny bit more for abs and glutes. The final little push. The final little wringing out of the muscles so that we get them to fatigue, which is one of the benefits of bar, that we work almost to muscle fatigue. So you want to face your chair. My chair is up against something sturdy. I'm going to lay on down. I'm going to have a block and my weights. Actually, have both blocks just in case. Weights nearby. Okay. So from here, we're going to start with feet on the chair. Feet on the chair, weights on the hip creases. Right here, right where your sort of lower half meets your upper half. We're gonna push down on that chair and lift up. Lower and lift, tiny little pulses. Inhale, exhale. Think of squeezing the glutes more up and in than just up. Squeeze them together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold up. Just hold. Squeeze everything together. Check out your knees. They should be parallel to one another. For 4, 3, 2, lower with control. Turn out at the hips so your feet come to the ends of the chair. Take those weights and bring them together. Cross your right arm over your left. Reach up through your knees and reach like you're trying to shake someone's hand who's sitting on that chair. Pulse. Pulse. If the weights are too much, put them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Switch. Here we go. Curl up. Now, if your abs are tired, this might be too much for you. So a better option would be here. But you're still rolling your ribs down to your hips. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to take one block, put it under the right foot. Keep the left and right legs as parallel as possible. Put both weights on the right hip crease. Lift up. Come to the toes of your left leg. Good. Hold and squeeze, and then come all the way down and squeeze all the way up. Put most of the weight in your right leg. For 4. You've got this. 3. Here's 2. Last one. Lower it down. Gently switch sides. Make sure that block is in alignment with your sitting bone on the left. Weights to the left hip crease. Press up. Squeeze left cheek. Come to the right toes. Squeeze and hold. Put most of the weight in that left leg. Then drop and lift. Your back stays neutral. Your pelvis stays neutral. For 5. Almost there. 4. 3, 2, last one. Gorgeous. Now take one weight in each hand, tuck the tail under, bring the legs to a little hover, arms overhead. Hover your arms out from your shoulders and extend the legs and hold. Put down the body. For 5. This is the end. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Oh, fabulous job. Lose those weights. Knock your knees together and bring your arms overhead. Oh, let the ground swallow you up. It's well deserved after all that work. Heavy breaths and scan the body once again and notice if you're feeling tightness anywhere, if you're feeling tension anywhere, and send your breath to those places. Oh, so nice. Gorgeous. Now we're going to take the block. I'm going to try to do this with my monkey feet and turn it the long way on the mat. Close together, close toward your sitting bones. Then I'm going to put the soles of my feet together on top of that block. And I'm going to squeeze them together a little bit. Firing up the glutes in the back and bringing a sense of openness to the hip flexors, hopefully. Stay and breathe. For 4. For 3. Last 2. Last one. Gently release. We're going to come into a figure 4 stretch, and you have a lot of choices here. You can use the front of the chair for figure 4, which might help. You can elevate your hips, which might help. You could elevate your head, which might help. What we want to do is drape the right heel over the left knee and encourage a sense of opening the back of the right hip. I'm going to flex both my feet. Again, my feet could be on the chair. It's just a little far away from me now. This leg could extend in the air. You could curl up and grab your opposite thigh. I sort of like to use gravity instead, or the aid of a prop like a chair or a block instead of curling up, because then I'm adding work in the arms and the abdominals that I don't think is really called for here. One more breath. Gorgeous. And then cross the legs a little more tightly and more narrowly and draw the legs in a little closer to you. One more breath here. Release, bring the knees together, and then stretch the legs out and away from you in a straddle. You can prop them up with your hands from the outside if you need support, or if you feel open to a little more stretching, you can use your hands on the insides of the thighs to add a little weight and openness. Notice what your tail is doing. As long as your low back is happy, you should be able to maintain neutral or slight imprint. One last breath. Hug those knees in and set up for your other side. Figure 4 stretch. So I'm tighter here. The chair would benefit me here. Okay, set them a little far away. But I'm going to get situated, flex both feet, use my hand to help with that hip opening. For 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to narrow the space between my inner thighs and draw the legs toward me just a little bit more. And while I breathe into my hip, I also breathe into my eyes, my sinuses, my jaw, my brow. any tension holding suspects. One more breath. And release. Remove the block if you have it. We're going to roll onto one side. And take the top foot in hand for a quadricep stretch. So I came way up here, but then I'm going to encourage my knee to come in line with my hip. And if I feel unstable, I'm going to bend that bottom leg. I'm going to let the foot press into the hand to open my shoulder. And then I'm going to encourage this hip to be open without arching the low back. Length, length, length. One more breath. I'll release. I'm going to thread my feet inside my chair legs and roll to my belly. Or if that feels narrow to you, you can bring them outside. We're going to come to extension. So I'm going to actually bring them outside and squeeze in instead of pressing out. From here, I'm going to lift my heart forward and slide my elbows under my shoulders for Sphinx. I'm going to sort of firm everything up first. I'm going to press into the tops of my toes, lift my quadriceps away from the mat, squeeze my glutes, drop my tail down. And I'm going to soften the glutes. Pull the palms back, reach the heart and collarbones forward. From here, I'm going to press my elbows into the mat and round my spine into cat, drawing my chin toward my chest and even lifting my belly a little. One more breath. Press those shoulder blades apart and lower down. Be careful rolling onto your opposite side. Don't let that chair hurt you. Top foot and top hand. You can lay down all the way. You can bend that bottom knee. Encourage the inner thighs to come together a little. Press your foot in your hand. Open your hip. One more breath. Gorgeous. And gently release. Roll yourself on up. I'm going to face that chair. We'll step the right foot forward, making sure my left leg's back enough to find me into a hip stretch. One more time, opening the front of the hip. Gorgeous. And then I'll lift up. I'll take my leg to the outside of my mat and side bend down. Oh, it feels so good. Open the body. Gently release and switch sides. So left foot forward. Knee over heel. I'm going to find my way into this nice hip opening stretch, squaring my hips. And then lifting up, bringing that left foot to the outside of my mat to stand on and come into a nice lateral bend. One more big breath here. And lift. A little closer, hands on the seat of the chair, tucking the toes, lifting up and back to downward facing dog. Bending my knees and stretching my tail up. One more breath here. And then walking forward. We're going to finish sitting on that chair. Here, let me slide a little over. Good. Inhale, breathe your way up. Exhale, twist to the right, letting your left hand come to the outside of the knee, letting your right hand come back perhaps to the chair. Inhaling to grow tall, exhaling to turn the spine. And release. Breathing up and going the other way. Inhale, find length. Exhale, find twist. One last breath. And gently release. Come up to standing for our final clock stretch. Turn out to a second position. Inhale, breathe the arms up. Exhale, turn to the right, kicking your hips back, making sure your knee doesn't lock. Bring your hands to your thighs. Keep the heart lifted, back flat to stretch through the hamstrings. Then shift your way to center, tuck your tail and roll up. Breathe up, turn left. Hips come back, knee does not lock. Hands above the knee, stretch your heart forward. Back through center, bend those knees. Cross your arms and roll up. Set your shoulders and slide your heels together. Lift for a final balance. Lower for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, high release. And you did it. Woohoo! Amazing job.